4.6% for 20 years and a grace period of 5 years. The project will be focused on the establishment of water supply and sanitation in 8 islands and the rehabilitation of harbors in 5 islands, and will impact over 20,000 citizens. Water supply and sewerage network will be established in Hadal Nellaidu, Nekurendu, Makunudu, Shavianifedu, Gafdal Vadu, Gafdal Fiori, and Ba Kendu. Sewerage networks will be established in Ba Darvandu additionally. Harbors will be established in Ba Kudarikilu, Ba Domfanu, Ba Kendu, Gafalif Kolomafushi, and Gafdal Hondeddu. This project will provide harbor infrastructure, safe access to water, and sanitation facilities for the citizens of these islands that I just mentioned. The OPEC fund is also a key partner in the development of Velana International Airport passenger terminal building. The OPEC fund has been a key development partner of the government since 1976, and I'm sure that this will continue and will have a close and long-standing relationship throughout. I just hand over to Dr.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. As His Excellency mentioned, we have signed the 50 million loan agreement with the government of Maldives, which will have 3 components. First one, as His Excellency mentioned, is to provide a safe and clean and sustainable water resources to the inhabitants of those 8 islands. And the second one is to provide sanitation treatment in a way to protect the environment for those islands. And the third is to construct and rehabilitate harbors in some of those islands. We hope this will have a good impact on more than 20,000 people who are going to be the beneficiary of this project. As His Excellency mentioned, we are a long-standing partner with the Maldives and working with the government for more than 42 years. And this is not going to be our last project. We are here to work with the government for the benefit of the people of Maldives in different sectors and different places. And I hope such a project will be replicated in different islands because it has a good environmental impact on those islands. So I take this opportunity to thank His Excellency for hosting us, and for the government of Maldives for working with us, and also executing these projects in a way that we see is efficient and can be considered as a model for other countries. So thank you very much, Your Excellency, and we are open to any question.
Yes, before we ask press to ask questions, I would just like to again correct one I just mentioned. Harbors will be established in Ba Kudarikil, Ba Damfano, Ba Kihadu, Kolomafushi, and Gafdal Hondeddu. Can press.
Since how long Maldives and OPEC have been discussing the war? Is there any other negotiations going on for future plans?
Yes, it's been more than 1 year since we have been negotiating. So I think, but now we are successfully able to sign the loan agreement as mentioned before. After the loan sign agreement, we hope that we can start the procurement tendering process, and as soon as possible start mobilization and start the work in these islands, so that the island communities can benefit from these projects as soon as possible. Thank you. We are not currently negotiating for additional loans, but we hope that there are talks that for additional sectors, OPEC fund is always willing and they will come. So in the future, we hope that we can have additional funding for other projects that are in the strategic action plan and the developmental plan of the government. So we hope that in the future we will be able to sign additional loans for the projects that we want to carry out. Yeah.
As you have noted, Maldives being the best performer, one of the best performers in implementing projects, how has Maldives been repaying loans?
For me, we have not experienced any delays from the government on repaying loans. So it is, and I sincerely meant that. Here the government is one of the best managing the execution of those projects. But having said that, also we have never experienced any late payments from the government of Maldives during more than 4 decades. So it is a good partner, and we hope that whatever resources provided, it's meant to benefit the people of Maldives, and this is what we sensed. I had the chance yesterday to visit 2 projects. One is the hospital project in Itato, and the water and sanitation plant. So we met the people, and this is what we are after. When we see people are benefiting, and we see that on the ground, the Maldivian people and the inhabitants of those islands benefiting from our projects, this is what we are looking for. As you know, we are not here for making profits, or we are not a company. We are a development institution. We are working in more than 130 countries around the world, and Maldives is, as I said, one of the best performers when it comes to the implementation.
How would you describe the relationship between Maldives?
Well, as I said, this relationship goes back to 1977, when the first loan was extended to Maldives. And during those, during the past 42 years, we have extended more than 23 loans with the value more than $200 million. And the relationship can be measured, the strength of the relationship, in two ways. One in execution part, where the country can execute, and it will execute in the most efficient way, not only execution. And the second in the repayment of the financial resources extended to those countries. And Maldives, again, is an excellent partner on that regard. So I would consider it as an excellent, and we hope to work together with the government for the benefit of the people of Maldives on this, to build on this success. Well, thank you very much. Yes, I think we have, as His Excellency mentioned, we are the biggest contributor to water and sanitation sector, and we are working with the government on this sector, and the loan that we signed today is the last loan in that sector we will do. But this will not stop us on doing more. It depends on the priorities of the government, and we were this morning in discussion with His Excellency. The government evaluating their priorities, and it depends on what is the best partner they can go with. As you know, OPEC Fund is one of the partners that work with the government, and the government is the one who can identify the best performers in different sectors. So we are ready to work with the government. On the SME side, we have a private sector window in the OPEC Fund, where it also can extend more resources to the private sector entities here in Maldives. It is an active window. They are working in more than 75 countries around the world, and they can, the private sector in Maldives can benefit from that window as well.
Since last 2-3 years, I have been involved in raising concerns about debt situation for this. So, since the government is taking more and more loans, what would you say about the situation?
Yes, actually, this loan is already in the budget. So if we look at our 2020 budget that is approved by the Parliament, already in our debt numbers, this loan is already accounted for. So the debt numbers are already accounted. So as I mentioned before in several occasions, the idea is that the rate of accumulation of debt will always be lower than the rate of our GDP growth, so that we can always service our debts. So that is our strategy going forward. The rate of our increased accumulation of debt will be lower than the GDP growth rate. So At the moment, there is no immediate danger of us defaulting on our loans or debt we have accumulated. We will be able to service our debts for the foreseeable future. We see that in 2020 our tourism sector is also growing. 2019 we have a record number of tourist arrivals coming to the Maldives, 1.7 million tourists. In 2020 our GDP growth, economic growth rate will be around 7.5%. So we hope they're looking forward. There is no immediate danger of us defaulting on our any loans. And I would additionally like to highlight all these numbers, the $50 million loan and all these projects, water and sanitation projects and the harbor, 5 harbors is already in our budget. So you can see that. So all these debt numbers will all be accounted for in the debt numbers we have already published. Thank you.
Is any of these projects awarded or process of?
We have already started with the tendering process because it's already in the budget. So we were just waiting for the loan signing agreement. So we will, as I mentioned before, we hope that mobilization and the actual work of this project will start very soon. If there are no other questions, we'll close the press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.